Everybody loves rumors when it comes to new consoles, but what about cold, hard facts? Well, let's talk about some with the PlayStation 5, and it's still a little bit out, and Sony has been quite secretive about the new console, but there are things that we already know, and one of those is confirmed to be an SSD rather than a standard hard drive. Now, up until this point, consoles have pretty much all ran on hard drives, which are typically designed to hold more content but not load quite as quickly. However, with the 9th console generation, we will be making the switch to SSDs, or solid-state drives, which will dramatically tone down the load time. So just how fast will it actually be? Well, that's a perfect segue. Spider-Man will load in less than a second. Now, Spider-Man was one of the standout games for the PS4, and it's still a fan favorite. However, like many open-world games, it had a bit of a loading screen problem, and you were often in loading screens for upwards of 8 seconds. But in a demonstration by Sony showing off their new PS5 build, Spider-Man loaded in a mere 0.83 seconds. Now, SSDs really are a powerful tool for gaming, and I'm personally excited to see consoles finally get in on them for the next generation. Let's talk about backwards compatibility. The PS5 is confirmed to do just this, at least a little bit. Hear me out. Now, many gamers were hoping the new system would be totally backwards compatible with previous PlayStation consoles, but Sony is seemingly meeting us halfway as of right now. The PS5 is confirmed to be backwards compatible with the PS4, but we haven't gotten any word about the 1, 2, or 3, and it's very possible we'll still get those and Sony just isn't ready to confirm it. But as of the recording of this video, only PS4 backwards compatibility is actually confirmed. How about the name? PS5. That isn't confirmed. This is one that people really don't talk about, but it's worth noting. We've all been calling the new console the PS5 because, well, Sony has been pretty consistent with those names, but it should be noted that the name PlayStation 5 isn't actually confirmed, which is interesting since the actual console is. If Sony is being so open about their new system, why aren't they telling us the name? Perhaps they're going to name it something new like the PlayStation Super or the PlayStation Ultra. Give me your best PlayStation 5 name in the comments. Only time will tell. But it's definitely interesting that Sony has been talking about their new console quite a bit, but they haven't actually called it the PS5. PS4 games will run noticeably better on the PS5. Going back to backwards compatibility for a second, it's confirmed that the PS5 will not just be running PS4 games, but it will be running them much, much smoother. Now, other consoles with backwards compatibility, older games don't always get a good performance boost due to them basically being run on emulators within the system. But Sony has confirmed that backwards compatible PS4 games will be getting a noticeable performance upgrade, such as the drastically decreased load times for Spider-Man. Now, it's unknown just what the performance upgrade will look like for other games, but it's definitely good to know Sony isn't turning its back completely on backwards compatibility. It is still 2 years away, possibly. Now, this is something that used to be confirmed, but it's possible things have changed. Back in 2018, the head of PlayStation, John Codera, suggested their new system will still be 3 years out from a full release, which would put the PS5's launch window in 2021. Now, this was a bummer, but this was also before we started getting more information about the specs and also before we got the Spider-Man load time demonstration. So, the PS5 was slated for 2021, but it's very possible that the company decided to fast-track some things during development in order to get the system out quicker. So, we know it's coming by 2021 at the latest, but we could get it sooner. It does have a 8-core CPU. Let's get into the techie stuff for a second. The PS5 is confirmed to be running a custom AMD CPU that is based on the Ryzen line that many PC gamers are familiar with. Now, the exact CPU or equivalents have not been revealed yet, but we do know it will be an 8-core CPU, much like the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. But, as many of you probably know, the amount of cores is somewhat irrelevant until we know what the actual core speed is. After all, the Xbox One had an 8-core CPU, and it actually ran games pretty poorly. The graphics, they will be powered by Radeon. Now, sticking with AMD, the PS5 is also confirmed to be running a custom Navi chip that allegedly is more powerful. Well, it's powerful. Powerful enough to support ray tracing and 8K gameplay, although I'm extremely skeptical of that claim right now. Sony has also stated this graphics chip will allow the new system to support 3D audio, which would be a cool little improvement. It will support PSVR. Now, those of you who like the PlayStation VR, you don't have to worry about leaving your games behind. Sony confirmed not too long ago, the new console will not only support PSVR, but also the PlayStation Move controllers. They really want it to be a seamless transition from the PS4 to the PS5, so this feature makes sense. PS4 games as well as the PSVR and the PS Move controllers will all be backwards compatible on the PlayStation 5, so you can jump right in the action on day one with all your old material. And finally, the Final Fantasy VII Remake is confirmed. Now, a lot of games have been rumored for the PS5, but as of the recording this video, there's only one that's confirmed, and that's this one. Back in June of this year, Square Enix confirmed that the Final Fantasy VII Remake is being built for both the next gen and the current gen of consoles, implying that the game will see a release on the PS5. Now, Final Fantasy VII begins its staggered release early next year, so it's very possible that the full thing could get a big boxed remaster on the PlayStation 5, and that would be pretty cool. The PS5 comes out, and one of the launch titles is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And there you have it. Those are actual facts about the PlayStation 5 or whatever it's going to be called. My name is Chaos. This has been another episode of SideQuest, and I'll see you soon.